For further ado, presenting the first award this evening is Gretchen Mundorf, presenting special recognition.
Thank you, Michael. Good evening. It is my great honor and privilege this evening to present the 2018 Special Recognition Award. This award sounds like exactly what it is. This is when we recognize those special people in our community who work so tirelessly to make our community a better place for all of us. Now, these folks don't usually get their pictures splashed on the front page of the Daily Courier. People don't usually write articles about them. They move more quietly, doing their good works, kind of under the radar, as I like to say. They are oftentimes our unsung heroes, the angels among us. They're the people who answer the call at 3 a.m. when we hear the whistle go off in our community and we know that there's an emergency, whether it be fire, flood, or accident. They, unlike us, roll out of bed and answer that call. We turn over and continue to sleep at 3 a.m. They're the folks that put up the American flag for all our holidays so that when we get up and go to work in the morning, our streets are lined with those flags, and we feel patriotic. They hang our Christmas banners. They maintain our beautiful Yawk River Trail. They volunteer at our library. They spend their holidays in soup kitchens and shelters serving holiday dinners. They teach our children in all of our churches around our community, in Sunday school and Bible school. And I could go on, but you get the point. We don't usually fete these people in our community, but tonight's the night. And we are better for having done this, to recognize them. These people are imbued with a spirit of generosity that resonates with all of us. They radiate goodness. As my mother, the late Miss Kitty, would say, these people are really good eggs. And tonight's recipient of this award is no exception. The nominator for this year's Special Recognition Awardee has actually known our recipient since 1948, when they were both in grade school in the 8th grade. She describes our recipient with these words. She's like that pink Energizer bunny who keeps going and going and going. Her special service to our community is in always extending a helping hand of service to others, especially those with health problems. She drives them to their doctor's appointments. She drives them to the hospital for diagnostic tests. She sits with them through good news and bad news. She frequently provides her own Meals on Wheels to those in need, and is always willing to visit and lend a compassionate ear. It seems that as soon as she helps to resolve the problems of one family in need, she immediately takes on one or two more families, all at her own personal expense. She's such a truly caring person who gives the most valuable gift of all, the gift that most of us don't oftentimes think about, but is so important to so many in our community, and that is the gift of time. Upon graduating from Connellsville High School in 1952, she began her 35-year career with West Penn Power. When she retired from West Penn Power, she immediately became active in West Penn Power's Retirement Association. She's been a member of the Alpha chapter of the Connellsville Y Riddell since 1954 and has been president of that organization on 5 occasions. For those of you who may not know, Y Riddell is a service organization formerly affiliated with the B&O Railroad, YMCA. and this organization will mark its 85 years of service to the Connellsville community this year in April. She has also been a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, where she served as past matron, and of the White Shrine of Uniontown. She is a charter member of the Dunbar Historical Society and also a member of the Connellsville Mozart Club. She has served as both treasurer and president of the Highlands Hospital Auxiliary and is a longtime member of the Connellsville Business and Professional Women, also serving in the capacity of president for the BPW. She helped organize the very first Connellsville High School class of 1952 class reunion and has worked on every class reunion since. She's also an active member of the Franklin Memorial Methodist Church in Dunbar, where she has held many positions over the past years. Even though her husband Bob has suffered some serious health issues over the course of the last several years, she continues to be active in all of these organizations, and she continues to serve our Connellsville community, especially those less fortunate, with her greatest gift that anyone can give, her uncompensated time. She doesn't need to be seen at a after-business mixer, working the room, as we used to say in my day. Now we call it social networking. She doesn't have to be on Facebook or Twitter because she's too busy going about doing and way too busy about telling others about what she's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the Greater Connellsville Chamber of Commerce 2018 Special Recognition Award is presented to Anna Catherine, we all know her as Kitty, Reed Strawn. Congratulations, Kitty. Sadly, Kitty was unable to be with us this evening because of a health problem, but her nominator, Melva Rowland, I believe, is in the house with us, and I would ask Melva to come forward and accept this award on behalf of Kitty. Melva, would you step forward for me? Let's give Melva a hand.
Yeah, tell her about that. Why she's not here. She's cleaning her gutters and fell off the ladder. That's what happened.
Thank you, Melva.
I'll sit down now.
You can go right here and talk about Kitty.
Oh, everything I know about Kitty, you already did.
Here's your award.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and I'll take the mic. You want to say anything? No? Okay, well, here.
I already have some other things for you, too.
Oh, my goodness.
So on behalf of the Pennsylvania State Senate, I have a certificate and a citation here for Kitty for all the work that she's done. And we always take the opportunity to thank our volunteers for all their hours that they give, and especially for Kitty, she's done a wonderful job. So congratulations to you on her behalf. So this is a citation for you to give to her.
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
This is on behalf of Senator Toomey.
Thank you.
Okay, for Kitty.
This is on behalf of Pennsylvania House of Representatives. Thank you.
Next up, Michael Edwards presenting the Community Service Group.
Thank you, Michael. Tonight, on behalf of the Greater Connellsville Chamber of Commerce, I'm pleased to honor the Yacht River Trail Council as the Community Service Group honoree. The YRTC, as they are commonly referred, was formed as a nonprofit organization in September of 1994. Their mission is to maintain 23 miles of the Great Allegheny Passage in the best possible condition 365 days of the year. All done to enhance the community for our residents and visitors to the area. The section they maintain is from the Layton Bridge in Perryopolis to the stained glass archway in Connellsville, And then as the trail exits the city and becomes Ohio State Park, the maintenance area that they maintain goes down to Bruner Run, where the trail crosses where rafts are taken out. They also help with the grass cutting on the Sheepskin Trail from Wheeler Bottom down to Dunbar. So over 50 miles of grass cutting, because you have to come back. Just in last year, 2017, they removed 147 fallen trees. They installed new lights at the garage building, cleaned ditches, maintained their mowers, installed a dozen benches along the trail, put 22 tons of gravel in the parking lot at Dawson, and repaired multiple landslides, all done with volunteer labor. They are constantly raising funds to support these efforts, from the annual cash banquet to the spring race, which is coming up at the end of March, to the fall foliage ride. And grants are an additional source of revenue for the many large projects, including machinery purchases and trail repairs. They worked with the Student Conservation Association to restore the red caboose at the Whitewaters Plaza as a welcome center. I encourage you to like their Facebook page and to become a member of their organization for only $15 or a lifetime membership at $300. Here to accept on behalf of the YRTC are Gary Wandel, Jim and Cheryl Hahn, and Donna Karwoski.
On behalf of the volunteers that are here and the volunteers that are not here, I want to thank the Chamber for this honor. Michael has kind of gone through a lot of the things that the trail does, and countless hours that these folks and a lot of others put into maintaining that trail. And if you think that the world doesn't notice that, I think the Great Allegheny Passage has been voted one of the 10 best trails in the world, biking and hiking trails. And with our partnership with the Career and Technical Center, in 2011, they built 2 shelters for us, Adirondack shelters right behind Martin's, along with picnic tables and benches, and along with 2 other ones down in Round Bottom, which is 10 miles towards Dawson, a remote area of the trail. In that time span, we've had over 4,000 people stay in those shelters. And from 48 states, the only states that we haven't had are Montana and North Dakota. We've had Alaska, Hawaii, and every other state with those 2. We've also had people from Austria, Sweden, Australia, China, England, France, Italy, the Czech Republic, Russia, Scotland, New Zealand, Ireland, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and South Korea have stayed in those shelters. So we're very proud of the work that all these volunteers do. And on behalf of the other members here of the Yacht River Trail, we want to again thank the Chamber very much. Thank you.
Well, we couldn't have the economic benefit of this trail without you and all your volunteer hours. So again, on behalf of the Pennsylvania State Senate, thank you for all that you guys do. And the countless hours. I can't imagine. I know in due time I'll be out there helping you.
Especially.
In due time. Great work.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Senator Toomey, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. I just want to thank everybody for all the work that they do on the trail. There is no, we cannot express in words the importance that it has to our community and Fayette County. Being from Perryopolis and close to the Connellsville community, it goes unspoken what the trail and what the upkeep of what you guys do for it means for our community. And on behalf of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, give you this citations for your thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
community service individual.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all and welcome. It is my honor and privilege to enter. Can you hear me without the microphone? It is my honor. What am I doing wrong?
You gotta speak. You have to hold it.
It's
Gary,
my-
would you show
Straight on.
I'm not used to this new technology. It is my honor. No. It is my honor and privilege to introduce the recipient of our Community Service Individual Recognition for 2018. Before I do that, I'd rather put my glasses on or I may not be reading the right things. Before I try this one more time. Yes. Okay, third time with feeling. Before I start. Okay, this is like the comedy capers, right? Before I start my introduction, though, I saw the funniest thing on the way to the office the other day. Can everybody hear me in the back? Yes? Okay, good. 3 friends, a lawyer, an accountant, and a real estate agent, all suddenly found themselves homeless. And they decided that they were going to take up residence under the Memorial Bridge by our own Yaak River and Trail. Now, the lawyer found a cardboard box, put it under the bridge, and moved into it. The accountant found another cardboard box, put it next to the lawyer, crawled into it, and was having a happy day. But the real estate agent found a bigger box, put it on top of the accountant's and the lawyer's box, put a sign on it that said, "Penthouse suite available. In new development for transitioning professionals. With trail access and a river view." So as you can probably surmise, our person of interest today is a real estate agent by trade. He has over 30 years' experience buying and selling properties in our community, which is pretty amazing considering just the other day at our weekly dart ball night, he was telling me how he just turned 40. Now, when I did the math, as an accountant usually does, I'm guessing that he was a real estate prodigy at a very young age. But in all seriousness, in real estate, everybody knows location, location, location. And we are truly blessed that our community is his home location. Our recipient has been actively involved in our community for many years, but largely likes to remain behind the scenes without all the fanfare and the fuss. I have been fortunate to get to know him personally through our children, and later then working with him on many projects over the last 20 years. He is the definition of humble when it comes to his importance in our community, and I'm privileged to call him friend and colleague. He has a quote on his Facebook page that I think is appropriate from Anthony Hopkins. "None of us are getting out of here alive, so be silly, be kind, be weird, because there's no time for anything else." And in that vein, he has a way of making people, those around him, instantly comfortable. He is a lifelong resident of Connellsville and a graduate of Geibel Catholic High School and a fellow Penn Stater. Go Blue. He is an active member of his church and can be visited at St. Al's fundraising booth at annual Dunbar Days, where he is the king of fried dough. And he makes those delicious treats from dawn until dusk. He has served as our past president here of the chamber and has been an active board member for many years. He was the champion for the Christmas Lights project when New Haven decided to pass that baton and the Chamber agreed to take on that project. He has and continues to work tirelessly in conjunction with our Career and Technical Center to make sure that the lights are renovated and then can be seen either on or around the bucket trucks as they're put up and put down every year. He is also the co-chair of our successful Savor the Avenue event and other community initiatives such as Christmas in the Park, and now It's a Connellsville Christmas, the Lions Club Kids Fest, Geibel and Elks projects, and many, many others. In addition to his community activities, he is a dedicated family man and can usually be found most weekends surrounded by his extended family, who he obviously cherishes very much. His lovely wife Rita has found it in her heart to keep him around for the last 28 years, and they have raised 3 amazing children, Melissa, Gina, and Christopher, who I am certain are very proud of their father. So as I conclude this introduction and welcome this gentleman to the podium, I just want to share a startling discovery during my research. As I was preparing this presentation, as is my usual practice, I Googled our recipient, expecting his public history to be on display, his career, his family, and so on and so forth. But to my surprise, the very first article that returned in the Google search was titled, "Some Very Strange Information on the Bizarre Vanishing of Dennis Martin." Needless to say, I read the article because I just saw him the other day. Fortunately, the article, as it turns out, was not about our Dennis Martin, so I finished preparing the presentation. And thank goodness, as a matter of fact, he is here with us this evening. One last observation. Dennis has another quote on his social media page that I believe summarizes, in a nutshell, not just what he says by his words, but what he lives by his actions. At the end of life, what really matters is not what we built, not what we bought, but what we built. But not what we shared, or not what we got, but what we shared. Not our competence, but our character. Not our success, but our significance. Live a life that matters. Live a life of love. And Dennis, if you will please join me at the podium to accept this humble recognition for your significance in our community. At this time, I would also like to ask Rita to please join us for putting up with Dennis. She has a gift from the Caldwell Bankers office.
Thank you.
The flowers for me or for you?
For me. You're the speech man.
I'm the speech man, but she's going to give it tonight. That was very nice, Brian. Thank you. And thanks to Rita for her hard work. What she does is more important than what I ever could volunteer to do, taking care of sick people in the hospital. But my job, and thank you to Paul, the owner of the company, and everybody that I work with for giving me the free time to do what I like to do. And there's so many people to thank. Tammy's back there for Tammy Nedro, and we've done so many volunteer things together, and I appreciate all her help. And there's so many people to thank. But with the Christmas tree thing, it was brought to my attention that we can't take it over. We can't do this. We can't raise that kind of money. I like that challenge, and we've done it. It's paid for, and we're going to continue to improve it and make it better. But all the kids that helped at the Career Technical Center at Connellsville, they're the key behind that, and the teachers who helped it. John Hammond, I know he's not here tonight. He was so involved with that, and it was the welding class, the electrical class. They all did a great job, and they all took a lot of pride into what they did. And it's more important for them to share in this award than to me. They did a great job, and when those kids go by, they look up and at Christmas time they see those lights shining. So thank you, and thank you for all for giving me this award. Thank you.
Congratulations. So I have something to honor you today amongst all the things you've done for us, so thank you. Thank you, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Half of Senator Jimmy, thank you, brother.
All right, thank you, John.
Dennis, on behalf of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, I issue this citation and personally thank you for your service to our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a short 5-minute break to do last call on 50/50 and wine and hotel stay. So give it about 5 minutes, we'll be back, okay? Brian and Justin will be around selling 50/50 and basket raffle.
Well, this day and age, technology is key in keeping up with all the things that we need. Our working relationship with Armstrong has been great. All the way from pre-planning to installation to now follow-up, it was not even a question of if, it's how. We have 96 TVs on site, all high def, all smart TVs. We have 2 rinks that seat 1,500 people, which have a high demand on our wireless internet system. As well as when we put on our phone service and we have radio broadcasts going on, those can't cut out. Armstrong worked with us to help meet our needs.
I'm back up here by popular demand. And hopefully everyone can hear me. No? All right, can you hear me now? All right. One thing I forgot to thank somebody who was a big help with many of the things that we do for the chamber, and that's Brooke. Where's she at? She does so much, especially with the Christmas lights. She was a big help with her son. Was extremely well cared for and helping us out. Hold it down further. Here, that's all right. I've been asked up here to present the Beautification Award for 2018. Around Connellsville, I'm sure everyone drives through and sees all the good things that are happening in Connellsville. There's so many people taking pride in opening up new businesses, restaurants, and everyone is coming together to make this town a beautiful place to live and to work in. And Michael is a big person that helps get those things started, so we appreciate all his efforts. But I'm here to present the Beautification Award, and so many people out there can get this award, but we can only give it to one person at a time. The person that I'm presenting this award to tonight purchased a property in November of 2013. He saw a vision on what could be built and what could be done with a property that was really looking very bad and was unoccupied for many years. And it took him 3 phases to get this going. The first phase was to take what was a 3-bedroom block residential home that he gutted and remodeled to make an 1,800 square foot commercial building. This property was had a new roof, wiring, plumbing, etc. What all goes into remodeling a property with a paved parking lot. It's now home to a beauty shop. And phase 2 required demolition of a building in the summer of 2017, and a new 1,800 square foot building was built. And this now is home to an engineering firm. The third phase, which also started the end of last year, there's a large building to the left side of the property, and it was completely remodeled inside and out, also being gutted and everything new put inside. It's approximately 1,600 square feet, and a new tenant moved in there in January of 2018, and it's now an office to a chiropractor. The remaining half of that building is waiting for a tenant's requirements, and it'll be a 1,600 square foot office building. With these improvements, Again, he's taken a blighted property and certainly made it very attractive on Route 119. This year's recipient is a major in the U.S. Air Force Reserves. He served in active duty in Afghanistan. He just received his master's degree in nursing. He's now a nurse practitioner. He's a father of 2 and married to his beautiful wife, Crystal. And he's president of LBS Contracting. And this year's recipient of the Beautification Award is Major Fred Powell. But I forgot to say, the property is right on Route 119, right before you get to Walmart on the southbound lane, so please take a look at it. You can't help but noticing it. I'm sure you've all driven by it.
Thanks, Seth. Congratulations. There you go. I'll just take a few minutes. Dennis forgot to mention that this property sits across the road from his, so he got tired of seeing it. So he suckered me into buying it. So that's kind of where that happened. No, initially, we bought the property for my wife. My wife has a hair salon. Her business was growing, and we thought, all right, we're looking for a place on 119. We rehabbed the property. The intentions were to sell the rest. And then Tamaro Pounds Engineering, my uncle was part of that, started a new business, wanted to stay in Connellsville, so we built a new building for him. Then last fall, Dr. John Rumbaugh, Connellsville native, he's been taking care of patients here in Connellsville for over 25 years, approached me. So we went with the next phase, fixing up a building for him. And phase 4 will be when I get all my junk out of there in the next year or so. So it's been fun. It's been challenging. It's a reward to see businesses want to stay in this area. They're looking for places in this area. So it was great to provide space for them. So it's been great. I have to thank my wife. I come up with all these great projects that are usually not great. She tells me no. This time she told me yes, so this worked out. This guy, Dennis Martin, how cool. I mean, he's presenting this award to me after receiving that great award. He's been my realtor 15 years. Dennis, Coldwell Banker, has been great to me on a personal level. He's a good friend. And when I thought about this, he's taken a percentage of everything I've bought and sold for like the last And last, I just want to mention, I use all local contractors. I've had great people. One of them's here today, Danny Nedro. He's in the back. He did all the block and brickwork. He's the one that made that building look as good as it is. And thank you, Danny. You've been great. Everyone knows small businesses globally, nationally, locally. Small businesses are important, especially locally. So whatever we can do to keep them here. So thank the chamber and thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution to our. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service. Thank you very much.
The commissions just went up.
You might not know, but he's a champion high school wrestler. Also, so when he grabs you around the neck, buddy, you better watch those commissions. You better keep them low for this boy.
All I got to sit on.
No, he won't let you do that.
Next up, Justin Teets presenting the Distinguished Citizen Award.
It is my honor to present this year's Distinguished Citizen Award. The gentleman receiving this award has made many contributions to our community, not only as a successful businessman, but also through his involvement in his countless community service projects. Hey Brian, it's amazing how this microphone works. But seriously, for all your technological needs, please call Kissel & Associates.
I'm looking at my account.
It's that whole 2 sides of the street thing, I guess.
You better already have your
Lots of
taxes
love, Brian. Lots of love. Normally, as everybody else does so well, I try to build this up and we'd all find out who the recipient is about halfway through my speech. But A, I'm not that good. And B, as soon as I know, I had to say it. As soon as we start to talk about this gentleman, I think everybody will know who he is. This year's recipient is Mr. George Pushkar. George Pushkar started his State Farm agency in 1966, knocking on doors and getting to know the people of Connellsville. He was a diligent businessman, keeping meticulous records of policy renewal dates so that he could call on potential customers again once their policy was at a point that he could do something with. George was also known for making house calls to his customers that couldn't make it to his office. He always went above and beyond. However, Mr. Pushkar's State Farm Agency is just a small facet of his life compared to the service that he's done in our community. In 1969, Mr. Pushkar joined the Lions Club. I have the honor of serving as the president of the Dunbar Township Lions Club and know what great work Lions do. I can only hope to be half the lion that George has in his term in the Lions Club. The face known internationally when we speak of Lions is that we serve. Well, it's not hard to see that Mr. Pushkar has truly lived his life around that motto. He serves to his highest potentials and inspires others to do the same. In his almost 50 years in the Lions Club, Mr. Pushkar has shown hard work, sacrifice, and dedication to his fellow men every single day. One of the many places that we may see George is working the Lions concession stands on Friday night, where many have observed that he's the first one to show up and the last one to leave. The Lions Club works tirelessly to fundraise through that concession stand, where they return part of their profits to the various sporting teams as well as the marching band, and use the remainder to fund many different community projects. Mr. Pushkar has received the Melvin Jones Fellowship Award and the Lion of the Year Award, and was also honored with the Lions Club Ross DeMarco Award. George was also involved in the building of Lions Square that I'm sure many of us use as often as we can. He also started the free summer concert project that's held at Lions Square every Sunday evening during the summer. He organizes these concerts, books the bands, and seeks donations to offset costs for paying for the entertainment. I'd like to thank Mr. Pushkar for that entertainment that he provides. It's, other than the traffic on West Crawford, I think it's a really enjoyable evening for us all, and it's a beautiful thing for Connellsville to have. For many years, Mr. Pushkar was a member of the Fall Foliage Committee, where he was in charge of providing the meals and serving the food to the participants of the Yacht River Trail Fall Foliage Bike Ride. George has also served on the Connellsville Municipal Authority for many years. He's counseled delinquent boys throughout the 70s. He started the Connellsville Leo Club in the 1980s. The list simply goes on and on. Mr. Pushkar has been previously honored with 2 Daily Courier Reader's Choice Awards, was a 2016 recipient of the Herald Standard's Person Who Makes a Difference Award, and was awarded the 4th highest honor in Lionism in 2017 when he received the President's Certificate of Appreciation. Though there is so much more that we could recognize Mr. Pushkar for this evening, I think we can all agree that he is such an asset to our community, and this award is long overdue. In her nomination, Michelle Coyman wrote, "George has put forth a tremendous amount of effort to improve our community over his many years, not with the objective of receiving personal notoriety, but with the objective of helping others and making Connellsville a more fulfilling place in which to live. His efforts, both independently and through his Lions Club, to better Connellsville and the lives of those living here, and he's certainly deserving of being recognized. Therefore, tonight we will do just that and recognize Mr. George Pushkar as the 2017-2018 Greater Connellsville Area Chamber of Commerce's Distinguished Citizen." Unfortunately, George isn't able to be here with us this evening, but accepting will be his family, his wife, I believe.
Not a very good speaker, but George is unable to be with us because he's ill with cancer. And he would like me to tell you he's very appreciative, but also very humble because he doesn't think he did anything to deserve this. And he says that he's sure that there are more people in this community more worthy of this award than he is. But this is what George is, always has been, always ready to do something for somebody else. Thank you very much.
Okay, Bob Topper Jr. will be presenting the Athena Leadership Award.
I'm going to go Mikeless if that's all right. I might not have as good as luck as Justin. All right, thank you. Tonight, it is my honor to present the 2017 Athena Award. Since 1982, the award has been given to over 7,000 leaders in over 500 communities that span the globe, including, other than the United States, Bermuda, Canada, China, Greece, India, Russia, the United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom. The Athena Leadership Award was inspired by the goddess of Greek mythology, known for her strength, courage, wisdom, and enlightenment. The Athena Leadership Award is presented to a person who is honored for professional excellence, community service, and for actively assisting women in their attainment of professional excellence and leadership skills. The award is presented annually by chambers of commerce, women's organizations, and universities. The award is established through local host organizations in partnership with the Athena International's national underwriters, local businesses, and individual sponsors. Nominations are solicited, and the Athena sculpture is awarded to an individual in the community who meets specific criteria, which again is someone who has achieved the highest level of professional excellence. They contribute time and energy to improve the quality of life for others in the community, and they actively assist others, particularly women, in realizing their full leadership potential. Tonight's recipient has been serving her community for many years. In 1980, she was named as the local Girl Scout leader. The Girl Scout organization was formed in Savannah, Georgia on March 12, 1912. In 1921, the first Connellsville area Girl Scout troop was formed by a local teacher named Miss Lewis. Today, there are about 300 Girl Scouts serving in the Connellsville's Crawford neighborhood, which includes all of the Connellsville area school district. For over 75 years, they have met at the Little House on Crawford Avenue. Many of you know the Little House, but what you may not know is the time and effort that has been put into keeping it up and running for the past 25 plus years. Quick history on the Little House. It was built in 1852 as a private residence for the Connell family, making the building itself an incredible 166 years old. In 1990, the Girl Scouts of Southwestern Pennsylvania discontinued the funding for the building as part of a national movement to close Little Houses. Not letting this set them back, our award recipient, along with others, formed the Connellsville Little House Society. Since then, tens of thousands of volunteer hours, as well as thousands of dollars worth of donated materials, have helped transform the East Crawford Avenue building, including completely gutting and remodeling the inside. In fact, the only project that they didn't complete themselves is when they had to hire a company to put on the roof. Our recipient not only had to focus on keeping the building intact, but the day-to-day operations of running a local Girl Scout troop. And we all know Girl Scouts for the cookies. My favorite are the Thin Mints and tag-alongs, and I love the addition of the s'more cookies, both the chocolate dipped and the regular ones. I mean, they're all very good, but I could go on forever, but we're going to stick to the award. The Girl Scouts are about much more than just cookie sales. While it is a critical aspect of the Girl Scout career, there are many aspects that go into being a successful Girl Scout. Girl Scouts unleash the GIRL acronym: go-getter, innovator, risk-taker, and leader in every girl. They are prepared for a lifetime of leadership. Girl Scout leaders look to help girls thrive in 5 key ways: develop a strong sense of self, seek challenges and learn from setbacks, display positive values, form and maintain healthy relationships, and identify and solve problems in the community. There is no doubt that our recipient has helped these young ladies achieve these goals and many more. In her nearly 40 years of service, she has had over 15 girls receive the coveted Gold Award, which is the equivalent of the Eagle Scout Award. As I come to the end of the speech, I want to read a quick testimonial from someone who has been directly impacted by the good our recipient has done over the years. Bethany Lawrence wrote, "When I think of my time in Girl Scouting, there's definitely one person that comes to mind, and that is Joan. I spent 6 years in her troop, but before that I always knew who she was due to her involvement in the community. She was at every event. When I got to her troop, that's when I knew how dedicated she truly was. She always had something new planned, and it was always fun for us. She truly made my experience as a Girl Scout incredible. She taught me how to be a leader and a strong woman, and for that I am forever grateful. One thing that shows her commitment to Girl Scouting is the scrapbooks she makes for us. When we are seniors and getting ready to graduate, Joan made each of us a scrapbook to document our time in Girl Scouting. She had pictures from when we were daisies and brownies, before we were even in her troop. Things like that take time, but receiving that scrapbook was one of the best gifts I've ever received because it documents one of the best times of my life. So thank you, Joan, and congratulations." With all that said, it is my pleasure to present the 2017 Greater Connellsville Chamber of Commerce Athena Award to Joan Emanuel.
I just want to thank all the kids, because if it wasn't for the girls, I wouldn't be here. And I'm also involved in Boy Scouts as much as Girl Scouts. And if it wasn't, the kids are everything, and that's why I'm doing this. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I have Pennsylvania House Representatives in person, and then I know the Girl Scouts. I thank you for everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Something very quickly.
Yes. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I do have Girl Scout cookies out at my shop. Please, I'm taking my girls to Savannah, Georgia for her fundraisers.
Okay, with that all being said, thank you for coming, and this concludes our program for this evening. Have a good night.